Pranams. To set the ball rolling for the presentations, we begin with the head office, CCMT. I have the privilege to introduce 3 representatives who will be making the presentations. To begin with, we have Shri Debasish Mohapatra, a chartered accountant by profession and with a rich 27 years of working experience in various multinational companies and large corporate houses. He happened to meet Brahmachari Darshan Chaitanya in Sri Lanka, and his inclination to spirituality and spiritual activities got him diverted to CCMT. About a month back, he has been appointed as the financial controller at Central Chinmaya Mission Trust and will be guiding the head office as well as the centers on following accounting guidelines. We also have one of the presenters would be Shri Krishna Chandra Patnaik. Most of us would be familiar with him. Shri K.C. Patnaik ji, after his training in management studies with an MBA, and after working in the field of business management and administration, and also as a management consultant in various firms in Odisha for 37 years, he joined CCMT in July 1995. Since the last 17 years, he has been working as the General Manager of Books and Publications Divisions at CCMT and implementing innovative ideas for improving the standard of publications and expanding sales. Once someone asked Pujya Gurudev, how much money does CCMT have? We need to take up so many projects. Gurudev said, CCMT. CCMT doesn't have money. Then they inquired, where will money come from? So perhaps that's why Guruji got Manisha Khemlani to CCMT. Trained as a physiotherapist and practicing in Australia, Manisha Khemlani joined as a chick, came to India, offered services at the project Siddhabadi for a few years. And since over 12 years, she has been serving and working tirelessly as the Deputy CEO of CCMT. And all of us would have got in touch with her sometime or the other for a lot of work. Recently, Pujya Guruji upgraded her to be the COO, the Chief Operating Officer. So we have this first presentation on CCMT over to Manisha ji. And I also request all the presenters to stick to the time allotted. So here is a 60-minute presentation on Central Chinmaya Mission Trust. Over to Manisha ji.
Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Pranams to Pujya Guruji, all acharyas present here, and Hariom and pranams to all our sevaks from Chinmaya Mission Centers worldwide. So today we are going to start on what is Central Chinmaya Mission Trust. I think everyone knows, but I will be focusing on from 2001 to 2012, where we've gone. Now, I have to recap a little bit of Central Chinmaya Mission Trust because I know there's still some confusion about what exactly is CCMT. CCMT is the apex body of Chinmaya Mission. It was registered in July 1964. One of the main purposes is to set up the policies, guidelines for centers, Seva Trust, publications, departments, etc. Now, just one thing I'd like to specify here is that this is a little different organization, Chinmaya Mission. Here the spiritual head and the administrative head is one. We have Pujya Guruji, who heads the entire Chinmaya Mission, and somewhere I read something very beautiful by Pujya Gurudev. He said, we can have missionaries, they will keep working. We can have visionaries, they will have visions, but may not be able to translate into action. But in Pujya Guruji, we see the perfect blend of a missionary with the vision of Pujya Gurudev. And not only does Pujya Guruji have the vision and the mission, but he guides each and every one of us so that we understand Pujya Gurudev's vision and are able to take the mission forward towards Gurudev's vision. So we are very lucky that we have such a leader amongst us and that we have to deal regularly with Pujya Guruji in CCMT. Now, Guruji also said what is the goals that we have to achieve for 2015-16. One of them was personal sadhana. And here again I found something that Pujya Gurudev had said is that in Chinmaya Mission, we don't necessarily have to measure how many branches we have or numbers. I will be presenting numbers, but what is more important for all of us to reflect on is the degree of tranquility and the depth of serenity gained by an individual day by day. That is how we can measure our mission's progress. So if we have been able to do that, then we know that we have progressed towards his vision. Therefore, we have our vision statement, which states, I hope everyone knows it, it is the inner transformation of individuals through knowledge of Vedanta, spiritual practice, and service to society, resulting in a happy world around them. Like that, we have our mission statement and the motto. For those who are not familiar, I request you to go to the website and get familiar and know that. Now, just to familiarize everyone, we have a board of trustees in CCMT, of course headed by Pujya Guruji. Then we have Swami Brahmanandji, Leela Nambya Ramma, Jamna Amma, Laju Ji, KP Daswani Ji, Hinduja Ji, Pratap Bhai, Bhatia Ji, who's the CEO as well, Bhale Rao Ji. He's recently been appointed as the trustee as well, Bhatia Ji, Bhale Rao Ji, and Jagdish Murjani. I would like to thank the Board of Trustees for having the faith in me to give me the opportunity to speak to all of you, and also in all the support that I have received from the board ever since I have joined Central Chinmaya Mission Trust, especially from Bhatia Ji, Hinduja Ji, and Pratap Bhai. They have been with me throughout while we have worked as a team on various projects. Now, proceeding, we have our regional heads. You all may be aware, in the north, we have Swami Subodhanandji. Then we have Swami Nikhilanandji, who looks after Delhi, Swami Sadanandji for Orissa, Swami Brahmanandji in Karnataka. Then we have Swami Chidatmanandji and Swamini Sheelanandji for Andhra, Swami Sridharanji for Tamil Nadu, and Swami Viviktanandji for Kerala. Special portfolios, as you can see, are Swami Mitranandji for the CHIC, Swami Vimlanandji for the education cell, Swami Swarupanandji as the resident director of CIRS, and Swami Advayanandji for CIF. Proceeding, this is just to give everyone a glimpse of the spread of CCMT. We have Chinmaya Mission rather. We have grassroots activities, courses, acharyas, centers, trusts, temples, ashrams. You can institutes, educational institutes, services like CORD, with the Vision Center now, and projects. So this just gives really a very broad overview, and I think we should all be proud that we belong to such an organization which has such a vast, diverse area of activities which we can work in, which we can offer our services and improve as people. We can fit in wherever we feel comfortable. Now I'll quickly run through the bird's eye view of Chinmaya Mission. The centers in India in 2001, you can see that since 2001 to 2012, what I have seen has been a sharp growth in Chinmaya Mission. From 200, we are now 270 centers in India. Overseas, approximately from 50, we are now 75. It was a little difficult for me to get the numbers of 2001, please remember, because many of these records are no longer preserved with us. Acharyas from 200 are now about 298, 36 registered Chinmaya Seva Trusts. We have added a few grassroots activities like Chinmaya Swaranjali, which started in June 2003. The courses added have been the Youth Empowerment Program, the Purohit courses, which we are running in Karnataka, as well as the Chinmaya Garden Trust in Coimbatore. The Samaj Seva courses, which have been run successfully in Orissa, as well as in Tamil Nadu. And we've had many e-courses introduced by the Chinmaya International Foundation, like the Basic Vedanta, Advanced Vedanta, the Sanskrit, and the Gita course. All these details will be covered by the respective organizations. Now, continuing with that, in our educational institutes, where we had 68 schools and 5 colleges, now we have 81 Vidyalayas and 7 colleges. CORD also was set up formally after 2001, and now it is operational in USA as well as in Sri Lanka. Now we also have a branch of the Chinmaya Institute of Management in Chennai. The Chinmaya Institute of Nursing is now a degree course. Earlier it was a diploma course. The Chinmaya Mission Hospital is being regularly updated and upgraded. Number of ashrams may have increased by 1 or 2, but the temples definitely have increased. Magazines to every center has been bringing out regular magazines. And the main ones are still Balvihar, Tapovan Prasad, and Chinmaya Udghosh. I will just briefly touch upon only Balvihar, whereas Tapovan Prasad and Chinmaya Udghosh will be dealt by the respective members. Just now, to go through what were the projects which we were looking at then, and what are the projects now which we're looking at. So this is after 2001. We had Bhavpar, which happened. That was after the Gujarat earthquake. So Chinmaya Nagar was built, and about Pakka homes were given to 200 families, and the entire project took about 2 years to complete. Then we've had disaster relief when we had the tsunami, like for Port Blair, and hopefully we won't have too many such disasters in India, so we won't need to use to do this again. And then, of course, the main project of Chinmaya Mission has been Chinmaya Vibhooti and Chinmaya Naad Bindu. This project the process started in 1998, but the construction started in 2004, and now all of you can see the result in front of you. You can see how beautiful, you can imagine how Guruji's vision was. No one really understood what Guruji meant as a vision center. But today it is here for all of us to see, and we're all sitting here having this workers' conference here. So we know now what this vision center is. We have spent to date about 130 crores rupees. That is approximately 23 million US dollars. When we started, I know that sometimes we've had to pay bills, and we've had hardly, not even a crore, and there'll be bills of 4 or 5 crores pending. But I have seen miracles happening here, and money comes. From where it comes, how it comes, I don't know. But I have firm faith now that if one wants to do something which is good, the help will come, the support will come, and one should just not get disheartened, and one should proceed forward. It happens, and that is all due to Pujya Gurudev's grace and Guruji's guidance and love. So we spent 130 crores. We didn't have anything in our kitty when we started. There is still some way before it will be complete. We have the Enlightenment Park to finish, and Chinmaya Naad Bindu, the infrastructure still hasn't been built for that. So I think we are sort of recovering from this major project, so then we can start the next phase of this project in some time. Now, the Uttarkashi Ashram, Tapovan Kuti. This, after 2001, the new building was built so that we could accommodate more campers. And recently, we have purchased a plot right next to the ashram so that we can expand it further. And we will have facilities even for more campers to participate and enjoy the serene atmosphere, divine atmosphere of our ashram in Uttarkashi. Then the upcoming projects would be the Chinmaya Birth Centenary celebrations, which to a lot of extent I'm sure CCMT would have to coordinate and manage funds, etc. And now I will separately talk about Upanishad Ganga and Chinmaya Swarankan. What is that? You will come to know. What I'm going to do now is just run through some of the teams of Central Chinmaya Mission Trust. These are the teams that are present in the actual head office in Sandipani, Sadnala, and Pawai. And I request all of you to please spare at least 1 or 2 hours when you're next in Mumbai, in Sandipani, so you can go through what we call the CCMT drill. Then only will you know what exactly we all do. And I know for a fact that every month it changes. Every month something has been added. Yeah, so we never had so many teams in 2001. Now we have an accounts team. We have an administrative team, legal, archives, Balvihar, Chinmaya Connect, Chinmaya Kids. Then we have Chinmaya Videodham, Kalpanam, marketing, Prakashanam, publication, accounts and stores, Upanishad Ganga. What these teams are all about, I will go through now. First, we have administration. In administration, We have the questionnaire reports, which are received by from all centers in India on a monthly basis. This project is overseen by Swami Nishchalananji. She compiles it all together, and at the end of the year, we give some financial support to the centers based on their, the work that they have put in through the year. Overseas centers, some of them, especially USA, are regular. They do send us annual reports, but the other centers, unless we remind them, it doesn't happen. This is useful for CCMT to get, so we get an idea sitting from here what exactly happens in the centers. Of course, it's not completely essential because Guruji is there whenever we need any information. He is our bank of information and knowledge. Then we have the Acharya reports. Now we are trying to have a process where we will have an online submission, so it will be easier, particularly for centers, to submit their reports. I have a very sincere request from our admin departments back in CCMT. Please update us when you change your contact details, centers and acharyas. I sometimes get to know only when I see Guruji's email that suddenly a center has an email ID. I have the wrong email ID of the center. It helps us because then we can be sure that you get all the emails from us. And I request all acharyas and centers to create an email ID if you don't have, because post doesn't reach. We send it and it takes sometimes 7 days, 10 days, and it's impossible for us to send everything by courier. Also request that please read your emails carefully and do acknowledge. I get the same question very often, which we have sent by email, and the questions come on the phone, and it obviously means that the center or the acharya has not read that email. Very often Guruji's emails also go and no one acknowledges. I've had a first-hand experience asking the acharyas and centers, oh, that email, oh, we don't remember. And it's not just important that the secretary or the treasurer should know, but it should be forwarded to your mission members, whether you put it on a notice board or you have a database to which you transfer it, because it's not meant for 1 or 2 individuals in the center. It is meant for every member in our center to know about. So we request, I know you all are getting weekly messages and emails of Upanishad Ganga. I know many will probably put it straight in the trash without even reading it. It would be good if you all can forward it to your members. Then now, proceeding, we cover medical insurance as well. So now we have a separate department which looks after the insurance of all our acharyas in India, staff in CCMT and TCT. That is over 300 people. That's a lot of work because every day someone or the other is falling sick, being admitted to hospital for something small or major, and some procedure is being performed. So we have to follow up regularly with the insurance companies, and we have to ensure that we get the best for all our acharyas as well as staff. Now we even have insurance cover for the spouses of our staff in CCMT. So we're able to give a lot more to our staff, because of which our staff continue with us. Proceeding, property. We are now in the process of scanning all documents of our properties in CCMT. Finally, we will be doing the same for Chinmaya Mission properties, where we will request everyone to send their scanned copies. And also, we are in the process of making an admin manual so that we can guide centers where there is confusion as to who has what role to perform. Legal. Now, we have just recently started a new department, the legal team of CCMT. We have one full-time lawyer who's from Australia. She's here since the last, say, about 10 to 11 months. We've just started because we get a lot of contracts, about 4 to 5 contracts we need to review in a month. Plus, we do have legal cases. We are now starting to review all our documents. We are starting to review all our trust deeds, present and old, to be sure that everything is safeguarding the interest of Chinmaya Mission as a whole. You will get emails requesting, if we don't have your trust deeds, to pass them on. And also now we have started registering our copyright and our digital media rights as well. So we have been submitting it to Delhi because we've had recent cases where though it's not required, it's not essential, we are doing the process, and it costs 6,500 per book or per audio CD. So you can imagine, we have about 1,000 titles. You can imagine the cost we are going to incur in the long run. So we started the copywriting of all material owned by CCMT. And finally, we're hoping that the legal team will be a resource center for centers worldwide where they can approach us for guidance if required, at least in India, because the rules in the rest of the world would be different. The accounts, I will just briefly touch on that because Debasish Mohapatra ji is going to go into greater details. We have now 46 financial branches, whereas earlier we only had 26. And as you know, we've recently got Debasish ji joining our team. And he will have his do's and don'ts and requests to give. So actually, I'm not going to cover this at all so that you all can listen to Debasish instead. Upanishad Ganga. As I think everyone knows, this is a part of Chinmaya Creations, which is a part of CCMT. This project started in April 2007 on Hanuman Jayanti, and it took 2 years, 3 months to complete the filming of the whole thing. The director, writer, Dr. Chandraprakash Dwivedi, and executive producer was Wisdom Tree Productions, headed by Mandara Kashyap. In our team, we were, the research team was headed by Pujya Guruji, and we had others working, Swami Vimlananji, Swami Advayananji, Brahmachari Samvidji. So it took 2 years and 3 months for proper filming, and simultaneously the scripting was going on. It was a lot of hard work that they all put in. After that, it took us 3 years of patience, perseverance, and hard work to get some TV channel to telecast it on television. No one was convinced, and finally, thanks to Rajanji and Shibani, Doordarshan had to yield and say yes to us, because I think they thought, we better say yes, otherwise these guys will keep bugging us. So the cost for this approximately was about 11 crores, which is about US $2 million. And the telecast on Doordarshan is still going on. And we have a very vibrant Facebook page, Twitter, YouTube. Number of likes, fans in Facebook have crossed 69,000. First set of DVDs, as you know, have been released. Work is in progress for the other episodes. And soon, as Guruji said, dubbing will start and there'll be a study course material as well. So I request all of y'all to go back and spread the message of the DVDs, make sure that they're available to all members as well as friends and in your local retail shops. Proceeding, this is a new project of CCMT, Chinmaya Mission. We have already started the process of finally producing our own in-house audio studio, where we can do our own recordings. We don't need to, otherwise Guruji, and this is very closely located to the ashram, Guruji will always say no, he's not coming to any studio for recordings. Now he has no choice, so as to say. Guruji only has given the name Chinmaya Swarankan. This will help our Chinmaya Naad Bindu. It will help all of us when we want to do voiceovers for various purposes, especially with 2015 round the corner. And we'd like to take this opportunity to thank Pratap Bhai for his generous donation. It was perfectly timed. That gave us the courage to go ahead and say we're ready to sign the papers. Otherwise, all of us in the board were hesitating from where will we generate the funds. We need only 1.25 crores for this. It's because we are getting the property along with the studio. So the paintings that you see outside have been done by our in-house illustrator. As Guruji says, preferably everything should be in-house. So here you go. We have an in-house audio studio. We have an in-house illustrator. Please purchase those paintings so we can generate the funds in-house and we'll have our facilities in-house. Moving on to the Balvihar magazine, which you all know about. So and plus Swami Aradhana Nanji will be going through this in greater detail. Just quickly, she is our main editor and editorial advisor is Bharti Sungtankar. We have a team of 4 administrative staff. The creative team handles the content along with the printers for the design, etc. Earlier, we had in 2001 barely 15,000 subscriptions. Now we have 38,000. You all may think it's very good, but I feel it's actually quite pathetic. Considering the number of children we are actually reaching out to, majority go to the Vidyalayas. So I think 38,000 is absolutely not up to the mark, and we should be aiming at 1 lakh. So we need to really work in this area. Since 2005, every issue has been in color, and it has been nice and bright. In 2001, as you may remember, it was black and white and little different in size as well. Now I will leave Aradhana ji to go into more details of that. Then we have Chinmaya Connect, the IT department of Chinmaya Mission. It is the backbone of all activities in CCMT. In 2001, when I joined, we had barely 2 PCs. Now, and then in 2009, we got about 5 to 9 PCs, and they were all handled by an external agency. Today, we have about 75 PCs, 4 servers, 2 storage devices with about 35 terabytes of storage, leased line, which is dedicated for Central Chinmaya Mission Trust. All of this is managed in-house by our own network team. We do not have to outsource anything. We have a team that can do everything in-house. So we also are able to do our websites. We have upgraded the Chinmaya Mission website. We have our Chinmaya Kids website that we are running, we're managing, Tapovan Prasad site, the Sandeepani site, and now we are working on a global site for Chinmaya Mission. It's like how you see for HP. You don't see, a different site for US, a different site for UK. You go to one site, and it is that one site which takes you to the different regions. The same way we plan to do it for Chinmaya Mission. So we have one appearance for the world. It'll be one site, and then you can go to the different regions of Chinmaya Mission, the different countries. The projects being handled by Chinmaya Connect. You have our Chinmaya Internet channel, which is right now going through a bit of a rough phase, but we are trying to resurrect it. Then we have our Acharya and Center database, which is not absolutely correct because we don't have the updated information. We have websites, other websites which we are managing. We have our e-books, which we are now bringing out in-house on our own with our team. Chinmaya Sanchar was recently launched by Pujya Guruji. It is a mobile app which is available on all platforms. Android, iPhone, Nokia, as well as BlackBerry. It will have regular videos, audios. It will have a separate section for children, separate for the youth, and of course the usual news, itinerary, and events. This will be based on a subscription model. So please go and look up in your respective app stores for Chinmaya Sanchar. You should be able to find it. It's really beautiful, and later, if we get a chance, we'll put a demo on that. We also have our own SharePoint portal in-house in CCMT where we can maintain and share all our material that we have. For those who are technically savvy, they'll understand what SharePoint is. Then we are now redoing our Chinmaya Kids website, and we're hoping that we'll have certain policies and procedures in place which will help other centers to set up their policies and procedures. And of course, we have our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, which is managed by our global team, managed by Shubha Patyal in the US, as well as Neerajji, Bhaskar, and a few of us in CCMT. Then we have Chinmaya Kids. This is, first it was managed independently, and now it is a part and parcel of Central Chinmaya Mission Trust. Because we are doing a facelift of this website, and we have an in-house illustrator as well as an in-house animator. You will see, if you go to the Chinmaya Sanchar app, you will see lovely stories which have been sketched and animated in-house by our own Chinmaya Kids team. So this is something that is fairly new for us. Then Chinmaya Archives. This was earlier managed by G.B. Bhatia ji, and now since 2011, our infrastructure has greatly improved. We have 2 separate areas, one for processing the data and one for storing the data. Storing the material. This material is now stored in proper temperature-controlled environment, in proper cabinets as well. Brahmacharni Pratna has traveled the length and breadth of the country to collect old letters, publications, do audio and video interviews, which will be really precious when we put together the history. And I know how much of a help all this material has been to everyone who's working on the Mananam books. They can vouch for that. It's been a lot of hard work, and now we are in the process of creating a database as well as a website. My request to all centers, any material that you have, please contact us so we can tell you how to send it. And kindly remember that today's material will be tomorrow's archives. So please continue to send us all your material that you have of today, your yagnas, your brochures, etc. Proceeding, we have Chinmaya Vidyodham, which earlier was managed by Asha Kamdar. Asha ji was doing it outside of CCMT since '92. Now, since over a year, it is located in CCMT, and we have a team of 4 professionals, 1 admin staff and a Yuvaveer. We are able to do our own audio and video processing, production, and archiving. We have started meta tagging all our audio files. We are able to add the ISRC codes, which is something like the ISBN for books. This ensures that all our material is protected even when it is online. Anyone who needs any help or guidance, we now have our procedures set up, and our team can help and guide you all when you are producing CDs or wanting to bring out digital material. Even the audios, CDs which were managed by Bangalore are now being handled by CCMT directly. So it's all now in one centralized place. All our DVDs and CDs are now being replicated by Sony so that we ensure the quality is good. Proceeding. Publications, we have our admin stores account. You can go through that list. Patnaik ji is going to go through the plans of publications in greater detail. But just to brief you, we have a well-organized storage area now, and we ensure that all orders are processed within 24 to 48 hours. The bigger orders, like from USA, do take about a week or 2 to process. Books are now available online. We have a marketing team, so they are available online on Flipkart as well as on our own website. They are available in all retail shops, leading retail shops in the, throughout the cities of the country, including Crossword, Oxford, Rhythm House, Kitab Khana, etc. Then we have our own in-house design team, Kalpanam, Guruji has given the name. We have 4 full-time designers, 2 DTP operators, and they ensure the consistency in design as well as layout of all our publications. We have a Prakashanam team, which has got the very difficult job of proofreading all the material that we have and ensuring that it is 99% error-free. This is still difficult. And we have our acharyas who continue to guide us in this with this team, so that particularly for where we use diacriticals, etc. We are hoping that we will be a resource center to be able to guide our Chinmaya Mission centers how to manage their publications that they bring out, like souvenirs, or etc. I would like to request that you all can assign one person in your various respective centers to be in charge of books so that our books can reach out to more and more. But Patnaik ji will go into this with in greater detail. Finally, wrapping up, just for some numbers, we had about 531 titles in 2001, and now you can see the way the numbers have grown. That's a 130% rise. Digital media also has increased, and our sales growth has increased, but I know Guruji will say it's not good enough. It's good, but not good enough. So we'll keep trying, and we will request all of you to assist us in getting to where we want to get to for 2015. I now welcome Debasish ji to proceed to take over from me and go through the accounts part of the presentation. He'll be followed by Patnaik ji, and then we have a short video on what CCMT is today. Thank you. Hari Om.
Ardent devotees and sevaks. I got this opportunity to speak out, and I must thank Pujya Guruji, Bhatia ji, Hinduja ji, and Manisha ji, and would try to be as brief as possible. And I know the subject is not very interesting. Accounting is a subject which is very painful for most of us, also for me. but I'll try to make it as short and as sweet as possible. I'm sure it won't be as musical as it was when Manisha ji spoke. Okay. Let me take you through the subject called Accounts Department. Let's go to the next one. The agenda has got consolidated financial status for the CCMT, which covers the entire 46 branches. And we have shown the growth over the last decade, the current challenges that the branches and the CCMT head office is facing, the role that we envisage for a finance and accounts department. We should rise to the occasion to steer the team clear of the trouble, the do's and don'ts, and the way forward. This bar chart gives you a figure of the source of funds as to how we moved over the period of the last decade, 5 years at a time. So we were having a resource of 59 crores. For the ease of convenience, we have blocked it to crores, assuming most will be the Indian audience. So we have 59 crores for the resource for the organization, which grew up almost 80% to 111 crores by the year 2007, and which has doubled more than 100% by the year 2012. These figures are as at 31st March, respective years. If you can see the corpus has grown from 42 to 64. The earmarked funds are basically meant for capital expenditure on land, building, projects. And thanks to the generous contributions, donations that is coming from the devotees across the globe, we could come to this stage as on date. I take you to the next slide, which is on the utilization of the resources over the span of the next 10 years. You can see the 113 crores, which is the immovable properties, which cover the land, building, properties. That has really jumped by about 5 times, from 23 crores to 113 crores. These figures are net of depreciation charges. Otherwise, the figures on a gross block basis will be much higher. And we charge income tax rate of depreciation that is allowed. And you can see the healthy cash and bank balance, which has also grown from 11 to 72, which is roughly more than 6 times over the period of 10 years. We go to the next slide, which talks about the changes, the growth in the key financials over the 5-year periods. For the first 5 years ending March 2007, the capital expenditure grew by 50 crores, and it was mainly contributed by the corpus, the earmarked funds, and the income that has been generated over the period, which is the surplus in the income and expenditure account and the general funds. Going by March 2012, the next 5 years, which is from 2007 to 2012, it grew up by 117 crores. And this also ably supported by about 98 crores. If you can see, the sources come from the corpus and earmarked funds, and balances from general funds. Now, the percentage rise is just an arithmetic. I'm sure you all make it out, so I don't need to elaborate on that. We go to the next slide and the current challenges. This, I request all of you to just think carefully. The current problems that we are facing as a team, and we would like to deliberate on that and find a way forward. Arranging timely funding, these are for projects. Then project oversight for time and cost overruns, because once we know that if you take a project, the critical part is to complete a project on time. That calls for scheduling of the project. You need to spend 90% time in planning and then executing the plan. That's a key factor. And there are certain income tax guidelines where also it talks about that when you do any capital expenditure, you must ensure that certain expenses get allowed as for the purpose of working out the tax deductibility, and certain expenses are not. So we'll go to the do's and don'ts little later part, and I'll explain what we need to do on that. I think others are very clear: synergizing financial administration across branches in HO. The statutes and compliances, that's a very critical part. We are lucky being a trust, very few statutes are applicable to us. Unlike plethora of statutes, acts, bylaws, which are there for the other corporate entities. So if you just keep keep track of the 5-6 statutes where we are covered, we should be sailing happily without any difficulty, and we'll have tax-free income, which can be utilized for the projects and for the organization. We request branches to come up with regard to the problems that they have, and then to follow the 3 Ps. The 3 Ps are basically the principles, practices, and the procedures. Because accounting is basically a very, very simple thing, because the accountants have a habit of making it very complicated. But I would like to put it in a very straightforward form. It is the simplest of the simple accountants. And all of you are better accountants than us. We have just been qualified to be an accountant, but we all manage our personal finances so well that I'm sure you will find intuitively the solutions that we are looking for. The issue is that seeing together, what I could perceive in the last 1 month, that if all can have a collaborative approach and finding a common solution, we will find solutions coming from the non-accountants. And I will be more than happy to chip in wherever you feel my necessity. And I'm thankful to Guruji to give me this opportunity to help and make me happier. I'll just take to the next slide. This is what we are looking at as the role of finance and accounts. This I intend not at HO, but for the entire Chinmaya missions, CCMT and beyond. We need to prepare accurate financials on time. Donors are giving us money. We are thankful to them, but we have an obligation to them. We must be able to respond to the donors with regard to utilization of funds, so they feel happy the money has properly been utilized. We can't allow leakages to come in the system because of ignorance. The ignorance of law is no bliss, because we have to pay penalty and fine for that. We have to follow the applicable statutes. Luckily for us, in India, the accounting standards have been clearly mandated by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, which is the one governing body which tells you the do's and don'ts of the accounts. So there is no confusion, we just follow that. And I'm here to help you out in that. We must have to keep adequate documentation on all the payments and utilization of funds, so that tomorrow when the query comes, an assessment comes, that time we'll be able to satisfy the authorities concerned with the documents. We need to be the cost controller. I think that's why they aptly called me as finance controller. Before coming here, I was the group finance director for a company, a group in Sri Lanka, which is having 27 companies. But I loved this opportunity because I'm not going to raise finances here, but my job is to see how to prevent leakages. So if you intend to prevent leakages, the best way is that's the way money saved is money earned. So we have a different perspective, and you have to work together in that. That's where the last one I was very catchy to me is be an effective cost controller and build firewalls to prevent the leakages. The do's, it must be quite boring, but I'll just take you through. See, do's are quite large in number. I'll just touch upon a couple of things, like since our main objects of this trust is a charitable trust with the emphasis on education and medical. So as much as possible, let's try to keep the activities other than these two as donations. Because any other fee, if you put like registration, camp fee, etc., it has got a worrisome impact from tax angles. the donation that comes for, say, TITA, for example, or any other projects, which is basically a liability to be incurred in future, we just have to match the accrual and accounting principle of matching the expenses against the revenue. We need to follow accrual system accounting. These are very basics. I'm not talking about a very eyebrow-catching subject. It's a very basic subject. The reason to emphasize and reiterate here is that I've been talking to the auditor of the group. He has been telling me try to help him out because he was finding it difficult to, and this is a wonderful opportunity when I could speak out to all of you and get your audience and hopefully your blessings that we have to go together in this march. If we can just follow certain standard basics, life will be so easier. So that's the reason I have just put this standard cliche like, accrual system accounting, adhere to the uniform depreciation policies, stock valuation. I hope that we will be doing henceforth. I go to the don'ts. Sorry, can we go to the don'ts? Yeah. The do-nots are not many, so we don't have much of a choice. We have to go more of the do's part of it. As I said, we have been finding it some of the places like we put it like donations, but within a bracket non-refundable. Those are, the donations and gratuitous act. You can't say that the money once you give, I won't give it back to you. At least don't print it out. Because if it goes to the hands of the IT authorities with hawk eyes, they may try to read 1001 meanings out of it. So we should avoid that as much as practicable. And there is a recent law which came in India, effective 1/4/2012 under the Income Tax Act, which is quite scary. It says that if you are trying to do anything, any trade, commerce, or business, and you are collecting a fee there against, if the total fee in a year exceeds 25 lakhs, you lose your exemption status. We are governed separately under the Income Tax Act, not like any corporate entity. We spend 85%, we get 100% exemption. We do any capital expenditure, they give us allowance very generously. Department and government is very generous to these trusts. If you borrow money, you repay that, that also allowed as a kind of expenditure. Now, when government is rolling out a red carpet for us, saying that please roll out and do as much as possible, it's a matter of complying with the law. And very easy way to do that. So my request is that when you keep an eyes and ears open, as for 25 lakhs is for the trust as a body with 46 branches. For any other objects other than that basic object of education and medical. So we should try to see how do we do things so that we don't fall out of this exemption. Next one. This is the last one slide. Hopefully I'll complete in the 10 minutes time I was given. I would request and urge upon each centers, each locations, the need to have professional accountants and that are full-time. Because we have a fiduciary relationship as a trustees to the beneficiaries and an accountant as the conscience keeper for the organization. And the accountability, the accountancy word comes with the word called accountability. And accountability comes that we are accountable to our conscience first and prevent the leakages. The donors who are giving us enough of money, we are their custodian of funds. We must see that it has been applied to the rightful purpose and not frittered away. So ignorance of law and paying penalties and taxes is not acceptable to donors, not to our conscience as well. Second is again a cliche like improving financial propriety and mission governance for bringing functional responsibility of branch accountants. What I intended that the functional responsibility has to be to the center so that administrative responsibility restricted to the location and functional they should be reporting to the center. So everything will be interwoven in a particular acceptable framework of the accounting guidelines. Third one also is a suggestion I have seen and practiced in my 27 years of career that the accountants can definitely, with a hard-nosed way they look at things, at least there will be a kind of a first gear and second gear when you're trying to drive on the fifth gear on a highway or expressway. They'll try to put a brake to say, do this, do that. That might help you an organization per se to have a look at the perspective with which the guy is talking about, which may try to bring in some sense. I think the last is the most important one. The location-specific MIS, if it comes on time, it might help to know exactly what are the gaps which needs to be corrected. Today, unfortunately, we get the accounts, I was told, comes the last day, almost close to the year when it's supposed to be submitted the income tax. So we don't have any time to even check and correct it, which we must try to correct it this year. And I plead and urge upon everybody, all center heads, to help the accountants to go along with them, understand, discuss, find a solution themselves. And wherever they have difficulty, I would love to help them as a facilitator and take it forward. And I'm sure we can find a solution, a lasting solution that too. Thank you. I'll hand over to Mr. Patnaik.
This one. Point it in this direction and press this.
Further. Hari Om, Shri Chinmaya Sadguruve Namaha. My humble pranams to Pujya Gurudev and Guruji, who have given me this opportunity to be present here to share some of my views before you. Guruji has already told the goal yesterday that our applications, VCDs, DVDs, all should reach all corners, all regions, all places before 2015, I mean the Centenary celebrations, and it should be made it possible, and we should make it happen. And this is possible. Somebody told that we don't have mission, sales network, so it is becoming difficult. But I don't agree with that. Our network is largest than any other network. Every individual is a representative of Cinema Mission, and every representative member is a sales representative propagating the message of Pujya Gurudev. Next, Karuna. So, I know yesterday Guruji has told, and I am also my personal feeling, every one of you has come here with a feeling that at some time or other, you have been benefited. In your transformation, the degree may differ, but everybody has improved in his life and has got some benefit to make himself happy and feels that he should be grateful to reciprocate or give something back to Gurudev in response to what you have got. And I think none of you will disagree with that. If anybody disagrees, I will meet him separately. So, with this assumption, I am sharing some views, which I know all of you are well learned and experienced and associated with the mission for a long time. So, I am not trying to preach or teach anything, only sharing some of my experiences, which may further develop and maybe adding something from your side. So, in the year 1995, the sales was around 55 lakhs. And slowly it has increased, and today it has crossed almost nearly 4 crores. And we may be reaching next year more, because we have already 3.5 crores by now. And for this, we cannot claim any credit individually. The credit goes to our Gurudev and Guruji and all the Acharyas, and the value of the books that it carries. We have not sold the books, people have bought the books. During Yajnas, we just display the books, people come and buy because of the Acharya. So the credit doesn't go to us. So the credit goes to the Acharya and the contents of the books. So every individual, what I mean to say is that, need not go like a salesman telling that if you use Colgate toothpaste, your face will change. No. The book itself says what it contains. And I will share few experiences. Recently I had gone. Why I am telling it? Ordinary persons like me, without any much influence and much social status as such, by way of wealth or whatever. I approached just get everybody wherever I got a chance. And recent visit, Bhubaneswar and Raurkela I had gone. I visited about 7 or 8 DAV schools and one public school. None of them belong to Chinmaya Mission. And everywhere there was a positive response and they purchased some of the books. I addressed about 8 Rotary clubs. Everywhere the response was positive, and on the spot they purchased the books and CDs, whatever. So what I mean to say is, it is the contents that matters. So every one of you knows some of the people. Our strength is the Chinmaya Mission, no doubt. But the center is strengthened by the members, and every individually they can do that. The Rotary Club, when I addressed the Rotary Club, when they were receptive, at the end of the talk I told, whatever you listened, it is all from our books, nothing is original. And immediately they came forward. I mean, they came around me and collected whatever books I had taken for demonstration, everything was sold out. So also DAV schools, so also public schools. So what I wanted to say is that every individual, but unless until the contents are presented and projected, how it is available to the every age group, it won't work. And the greatest satisfaction is that, as Guruji has told, and we have been trying, we are trying to spread the message of Guruji, Gurudev, all around the world, not only for our benefit or show of our gratification, but it is a benefit to the mass, benefit to the community, to bring harmony, bring relationship, bring development. So everybody can make attempt, and every individual has that independence and potentiality to do that even better. So in every center, there should be a committee exclusively for books, no other disturbance. Like that, now we have got a team. I am assisted by young and old. Young Subha is there, and you must be knowing by now. And one Mr. Venkat has joined. He was a corporate retired manager of marketing. And they are exclusively trying to find out and promote the sales and bringing innovative ideas for sales. Similarly, in each center, you can develop a group, a committee, which will consist young and old. And they can approach every place, irrespective of whatever the class they may belong to. It's educational institutions, NGOs, public libraries. Last time I visited the Secretary Education, Mass Education, Secretary Tourism and Culture in Orissa government. And they were so pleased, they took me to the Minister of Culture and they introduced me, and they were happy they were going to place orders for their cultural centers and the schools. Every one of you can do better than that, because you have more influence and you are locally placed, you know the people better, so you can do much better than what has been done so far. And the intention should be that by 2015, when we go there, I mean when the celebration is being conducted, Centenary, there should not be a place anywhere, any institution, any shop, that they will not be ignorant of our publications. It doesn't matter how much they sell, but they must be knowing what potentiality our books have got, how it is useful to the students, how to children, how to the senior citizens, to everybody. So then the team which is maintained at the center, they should be contacting us regularly so that we are reciprocating and exchanging our views and developing new ideas, how the books can reach to more places, how it can be more popular, how the more people will introduce. So many things can be held, and we can have even seminars or some sort of a discussions, either locally in the center or at CCMT Bombay, but we will be in close contact. So I request each of you that immediately after return, a committee should be formed at each center to see that they are exclusively dedicated for sales promotion, and see that they are reaching the nearest areas and none is left over. If representations are there from different areas, so it is easy to locate. Because, for example, supposing I go to a hotel and the hotel GM is not known to me, you can approach to a man who knows him. There are various ways. I will not be going into detail, or later on when somebody meets me, I can tell you. They are very easy to approach and get it done. Recently, Taj Hotel took 500 copies of Indian culture Vaidoi at Bombay as well as at Delhi. It is not by our approach, on their own. Just imagine on their own if they can approach and get these books, supposing some of us can go and propagate and explain them the contents of the books, how valuable it is, how really relevant it is, then definitely it will be more effective, and it is definite to happen that they will take the books. There are several bookshops in this city. So as I told you, though the sales are from 55 lakhs, we have reached nearly 4 crores. It is not a great thing. I am not happy, and you should not be also happy. Because we have not reached the target where we should have reached. It has much more potential. We have not done justice. Because if the books have so much value, it should reach the maximum number of people to give maximum satisfaction. It can happen only each individual take that task. Each individual commits to himself that I will do this. So every center should set a target every year, or every 3 months or 6 months, whatever it is, depending on these local factors. In fact, we are working out some sort of a planning to advise the centers what should be their target depending on their locality, their population, and other factors, so that they can try to make plans to reach that particular target and then improve the target, because every time you should break your own records so that you can see that this time it is so much and next time it should be much more. Then next time it should be much more. You have reached the schools, you can reach the colleges, you can reach the libraries, you can Rotary clubs, Lions Club, so many other social organizations, education institutions, and various festivals. This is one of the most important things. Whenever there is a social festival, whether it is a wedding, whether it is a birthday, or some other, even a death case. Somebody's death, 13th day celebration was being held. I suggested him that why don't you present this book, Gita in Daily Life, or something like that. He immediately accepted. Immediately. And it was distributed. Similarly, in a marriage day, in Indian culture, why do we? Instead of giving something, they distributed all the people. But somebody has to go and tell him that this is a book most appropriate to the occasion, and you take it. But if you don't tell him, we cannot blame them that they didn't take the book. If you approach and tell them, it happens and it has happened. I am telling you my practical experience. So similarly, Rotary Club, they give prizes for different people, for different occasions, for different, achievements and performance, like full attendance, community service, best student. In the schools, annual day functions are being held. They are giving prizes for various achievements of the students. Some of the people can sponsor as prizes that I give 300 rupees or 400 rupees. Our books are very cheaper comparatively. So you say that I give this, and in terms of books, not in cash. So the principal will be very happy, and you take the books and present it on different occasions. Once they get the books, they know the value of the books. Next time they themselves will obtain it. And it has happened in Rautla school. In many other schools can happen. In colleges also it can happen. So most of the people can afford that. 300, 400 or 500 rupees is not a big amount. Anybody can do that. If 5 people contribute to a school, almost half of the prizes can be taken care of. Rotary clubs, they are supplying, you can approach one Rotary member or Rotary president and tell them that these are the books available on different occasions. We have books on management, we have books on self-improvement, we have books for senior citizens. So they can take it and supply to, present it as the gifts to the people. Corporate people. Recently, we had a Jagyam by Pujya Guruji at Dadar. And as per the details we have been advocating, I am very thankful to Chinmaya Mission Bombay. They organized in a very meticulous way, classifying the books in each group. For Gita, Upanishad, children's book, self-improvement book, even corporate books. And the people who wanted to select the books, they came and picked up their own books. It was very easy for them to sell and buy. In the process, what happened is, you will be surprised, only 1 hour before the talk and 1 hour after the talk, the sales were there, and totally about 10 hours. In 10 hour sales, do you know what is the sales? It is about 5 lakhs, only 10 hour sales. You just imagine, if 10 hour sales, you can fetch 5 lakhs. Similarly, in Patna, one school, somebody suggested to write a letter to the regional director of DAV schools. We wrote a letter to DAV school Patna principal. So then they got it, and they placed order for 10 lakhs worth books. Patna regional director, one letter. So each of you can do that. With this, I am not going into detail because time is not there. And you are welcome to meet me or discuss me. I am available 24 hours. and I can share whatever, and I can also take your views to improve myself. And I thank everybody. Before concluding, I would say that everybody should remember and commit to himself, herself, to distribute at least 3 titles by gifting or by selling or introducing to a new party or organization every month is a token of gratitude to our Pujya Gurudev. That is the best service you can do to others. I appeal to each and everyone that I hope that you will do this, and it is possible to do it. We can, we must, we will. Thank you, and thank you everybody. Hari Om. Before that, there is a format we will be circulating. There you kindly fill up and give us the details so that it will be easy for us to know what is the present status and improve upon how we will go about. Details will be told later and the form will be supplied to you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hari Om.
We all know that even to make a small movement of our hand, all parts of our entire body have to function in coordination. In order to achieve the great objective of the Chinmaya mission of propagation of the knowledge of Vedanta and to serve the society, the whole organization and every department of the organization has to work with one vision and in coordination with each other. Central Chinmaya Mission Trust is the apex body of the mission, and it has various departments, and I am glad that each and every division is working with each other, and so many members, young and old, junior and senior, giving their best to achieve the objectives of the mission. I congratulate them all and invoke God's grace and Pujya Gurudev's blessings on each and every one of them. Hari Om.
I am Narayan Bhatia, the trustee and the CEO of Central Chinmaya Mission Trust. I joined this trust under the instruction of Pujya Gurudev, His Holiness Swami Chinmayananda, in 1989. Since then, I have been working as a full-timer over here and look after the total administrative work of the mission. Live and let live. This is the message which keeps the people bound and not divided. Today, if anything is to be achieved, it is to be achieved as a teamwork.